Okay, how did your week go? Catch me up.
Oh, it was a blur of insanity.
Thank you for your.
uh, I got some. Um. Well, I had a couple of days. I got some bad news from one person and some bad news from another person, and so I was kind of down in the dumps and sad about these things. And then yeah, 20 million children.
So it sounds like what you're saying is, well, you mentioned a lot of stuff about other people, but you didn't say anything about you.
About me.
Yeah.
I was just okay. This morning was the only morning in which I woke up and the baby did not wake up with me. So I actually managed to make my coffee with two hands. And I had a little bit of time to sit down and, just kind of get my bearings because I really didn't have much time to do any of that the whole week. And so I finished. I had started on the assignments that you gave me right the day after the lesson, and then I kind of got there was a whole bunch of stuff going on, and so I managed to finish today.
Oh, very good.
So that's when I was started kind of thinking, okay, what has happened to me this week? What has not happened? And what did I even do this week? Hey, if you want to say, you hold very still, okay? No craziness, please.
I was just, yeah. So anyway, so how old's your little one? Is she 1, 2?
This is Sky and she is 4.
Oh yeah, 4. Sky! And she can hear me now?
Yes.
Good. So you're going to lead us both. So Sky, your mommy. Hi, I'm Dot. Cheeky Pop. That's nice. Okay, shh. Now, this is Fluffy Puppy.
Hi, Fluffy Puppy. Listen to my mama.
Okay, so when Fluffy Puppy speaks, we all listen. And last time I got to see your mommy, I showed her something really special. It had to do with breathing. And you can do it too. Let's do it all together. I would like Maria to teach us the special breathing power. What do we do, Maria? What's the first thing?
The first thing we do is we think about something that we like a lot, like puppies or babies or kitties.
Oh, yeah.
And while we're thinking about kitties and we're thinking, oh, when we're thinking that, we breathe silently, thinking, oh. And that air and that energy that comes inside of us, we let it sit in our belly for a moment. And then we let it all come out.
Where does it go when we let it come out?
It melts into the ground and it goes into our heart. It makes us feel all nice inside.
Really? Oh, wow. It sounds like you're even advanced. So we melt it into the ground. Can you do it? Why don't we all do it together? Ready? And cute puppies breathing in. Orange belly ball. I gave you that one. I knew you remembered it. Exhale. Down to the ground. And inhale. Orange belly balls. Puppies. Exhale. Right up the tailbone. Down, down, down. Right into the earth. And cute puppies. Orange belly ball. Exhale. Into the ground. Your butt is going into the core of the earth. Ooh, how do you feel now? That was 3 breaths.
I feel nice.
Wonderful. What would happen if throughout the day you decided that you were going to stop and do just 3 breaths or even 1 breath. Whenever, yeah, see, even 1. You can remind your mommy, just say 1, mama, 1 breath. Every time you see your mama, every time you see one of your kids, you're like, oh. And then you do that breath. What would happen for you, do you think?
I think I would get stuck because I have this kind of
right now, do you feel stuck?
No, right now, no. It's when I'm having to monitor my own self. I get stuck. I just can't.
Okay, that's what this is about, though. That was in the past. Say in the past I got stuck. Say that.
In the past I got stuck. The past includes this morning, right?
Okay, yeah. Because it's not happening now. It doesn't exist anymore. You know? So you may have some energy around what it means to do something for you. That you're like, oh, I do this for me. No, I don't know. What is that?
I don't think so much. I don't think that it's so much about me. I get really anxious around singing stuff.
Oh, well, we didn't sing.
Well, it's related. I mean, that's the context. Well, I guess, yeah. And in my brain, of course, it's related because I'm doing it because of my singing training.
That's just a trick. See, the reality is, we and my little fluffy puppy,
That's me.
we know that the reason you really contacted me is because you want to take a journey inward that's going to bless your life and empower your voice. This is really for you. And you can keep self-sabotaging, or you can decide, you know what, singing actually is just the byproduct of my fabulousness. And if you want to feel fabulous, okay, I'm going to breathe because I have to breathe to survive anyway. So you work with your, whatever those weird rules are that we all write, you know, we all have rules in our head. Like some people tell me, I can only sing in front of you and sound good, but in front of other people I can't. And other people tell me, Dot, I'm horrible in front of you because I know you're professional, but in front of everyone else I sound good. That's their rule. So you've written some rules based on beliefs, and it could be the best fiction ever written, but we need to both know that it is fiction. It's not real, is it? Unless you choose to make it that way. You want to make it, if you like, if it's working for you and you're like, yeah, I want, you know what? Whenever I'm doing something for singing, I'm going to get stuck, and that's my plan. Is that your plan? Yeah, see, you laugh now, but that's what you told me. You're in charge. You are in charge. So what do you want? You tell me.
What do I want? I want to, Missy, come on, get down and go with Daddy, please. Because I have to concentrate here, okay? And then later on, we'll do something together. What do I want? I want singing to be a relief and a joyful experience.
Okay, what are you going to do to make it that way? What are you going to believe in order to allow that? I want singing to be a relief and a joyful experience. Do you have your sheet?
Which one?
The one that I emailed you and said to write on that says core promise law.
Several.
It's all the squares.
This one?
Yeah, see, you did good. You have your sheet. You wrote what you did well. What did you write under advice to self?
I wrote, I am okay no matter what.
Okay. Now the question I just asked was, what are you going to do to make it a relief and a joyful experience? And read what you wrote again for advice.
I'm okay no matter what. Well, I suppose what I have to do is
Have to or get to. Reframe.
accept that being at the point I'm at is not a tragedy. It's not necessarily eternal.
Right.
Even though I have no clue how to make it better, but I do believe that it can happen. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
Okay. Well, good. Yeah. I just want to say, even though you're like, I don't know how this is gonna, what if you actually did? What if every time I get in touch with you, all I do is just tune in to what your energy, the real, like your subconscious mind, what the real parts of you want, and then I just feed it back to you. That's all I'm doing, really. I'm not as smart as what people think. I hate to admit that. I mean, my ego wants to go, oh, I'm totally smart. I've been doing this for years. I know everything. But, if I really go deep, it's like, yeah, all I'm really doing is I'm really listening to you in ways that are hard for you to listen to yourself, because there are emotional attachments from the past that are, they kind of cloud our vision a bit. They make it a little harder for us to do the O in CORE. And the O in CORE stands for objective. Good job. You looked it up. How did you know?
No, I have the bundle.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Good job. I forgot about that. I need to make a note of that. You have the bundle, so you know the principles. You know, like the psychology. So the O in CORE stands for objective, right? And then there's two kinds. What are the two kinds? First, there's two kinds of objective. I can be objective. What does that mean to be objective?
It means to have a realistic vision of things.
Oh, that's an interesting way of putting it.
Okay. Or you know what? Sometimes, okay, in Italian, the word that sounds like objective means what I just said. I'm not entirely sure if English has that same meaning. So actually, I attached an Italian meaning to the English word that sounds like the Italian word. Okay,
but you're very close. It's very close in English. It's the same concept. It's just being observant without like judging it from an emotional place. Mm-hmm. So some people would say like, well, it's seeing it like God would see it. Mm-hmm. That's not always easy to do though. I mean, God's not gonna be like, oh, you have nose hair that's too long, He's not gonna like pick us apart. It's unconditional love. What's wrong, sweetie? You want to come up and sit on my lap? You need to stop being so needy, okay? You go lie down. Go on. Now my child's bugging. So luckily I only have one. But anyway, and I can lock her in a cage if I want. Terrible.
Yeah, I can do that.
Don't you wish you could sometimes?
Maybe terrible. Every once in a while.
Okay. Anyway, getting back to objective. So when you can get yourself to a place of where you can actually see like, oh my gosh, okay, I made that mistake and I did that really well. But it's not like, oh my God, I screwed that up. Oh, and like, oh my God, I'm the best. I did this so well. There's not an emotional pull. It's just like, you're just seeing it objectively. And you're like, okay, I need to work on that. I need to work on that. And wow, I really shine in these areas. So there's a balance there. You're not going nuts either way or feeling like I got to beat it into shape. I'm just going to ignore all the good stuff because I don't want to look stupid and actually suck more than I think, you know. Everyone's so afraid of that. And so what you do is you become objective, and that comes with the next breathing exercise I'm going to show you. It will help you to do this even though you already know about it because you've read the books. We're still going to do it a bit together. And then once you can be objective, then it's easier for you to have an objective or be in touch with what? When you're singing, what would your objective be? Generally speaking.
Well, first of all, to enjoy my craft and convey something to whoever might be listening to me.
Okay, cool. I like that you talked about enjoyment first, and it's going to be very interesting. Did you watch your last session?
Yes, two and a half times.
Very good. Look at you all tell me this big story at the beginning, like I did music. You made time for yourself to watch it, to how to give yourself a pat on the back. Some people that don't even have one child can't even get through it once. So you did well, regardless of what you feel your beliefs are, like, whoa, when I sing or anything singing, I get stuck. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, because you watched the whole video twice, right? 2.5 times?
Mm-hmm.
Good. This week, you're going to watch it again. There's a lot of little questions that I ask you purposely, and then I don't let you answer it, because some of the time I want you to go back and answer it and like write and reflect on it. So but I just do that to get the wheel spinning. Like earlier I asked, do you remember what the question was? You said, I want this. I want singing to be a relief and to be a joyful experience. And then what did I say? What do you have to believe? Right.
Mm-hmm.
What's the thought process behind that? Basically, it's another way of saying it, so it's like your job is to catch yourself when you're not in alignment with that, because you've already contradicted yourself. You're like, oh yeah, well, whenever I have to do anything singing, I get stuck, or I make myself get stuck. Well, is that working for you? And is that even true? Like, is it fully true? Because
it hurts. It hurts. I mean, there is physical pain. So there is, something somewhere in the whole mechanism is not working as it should, because pain should not be present.
How is it hurting you?
My ear hurts.
Oh, your throat chakra feels painful even when you do breathing?
Well, sometimes, yes, it gets, I'm trying so hard that it hurts.
Okay.
I stop and like, okay, you would just forget about breathing, because you are breathing the whole day.
Right.
And go on. So that's what I try to do.
It's crawling all over the furniture. That's so bizarre. Continue. That's what you try to do.
And the same thing happens, when I go to sing. It's like sometimes I can manage and sometimes I can't. Sometimes it doesn't hurt. Sometimes it does. I want to say more often, although I have this tendency to be really negative, so maybe it isn't more often, but that's what it feels like.
Well, you just said what your major problem is. You said, I try so hard, it hurts. So you have a belief that you need to try really hard, and so why do you have to try so hard? Like, to breathe even.
Well, it's kind of automatic. It's like when I think about it, Okay, so I say I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do my 1 minute of breathing. Okay, so I've told myself I'm gonna do this now,
Yeah.
and so I'm thinking about it. So
Did you do the puppies and did you do the video I gave you? The BOA.
I did. Okay, did the video,
Yeah,
and like the first day, everything was.
okay.
And then I don't know. It's like I lost the vision that I had acquired during the lesson and the next day, and it just kind of lost it and couldn't grasp it anymore. So I was remembering, okay, I was doing. And this happens to me often. Like I will see something and understand it, and then like lose hold of it and can't get back to it.
Oh, you're trying to get back. Okay. Did you write anything in your journal when you had that?
I did.
Yeah, you did? You did not?
Well, I wrote the letter to my voice, and I wrote the 3 things that I liked about the recording. And I wrote something about the only time that I managed to sit down at the piano and practice, because that did not manage to happen this week. So those are the things that I wrote.
But that's great. Okay, did you ever go back and read it?
I did about 45 minutes ago.
And what was that like for you?
It was strange because I can remember feeling what I wrote, but I can't refeel the feeling. It's like I've distanced myself. It's like it's another person.
Ah, okay. So, all right, fair enough. Let's get that right now. Let's get the 3 things you like about your voice. I want you to read them to me, please.
Okay, this is 3 things I liked about my voice in the recording of last week's lesson.
Good.
Okay. I liked my spoken voice. I liked hearing that despite it going so quickly, I got almost all the notes right on the, I don't know what it's called, when you're playing notes really fast for me and I had to repeat them immediately.
Okay.
Okay, and I liked that by the 3rd time around with the song that I sang at the beginning, I was taken up with singing and no longer fidgeting and having to make myself stay put. So like embarrassment had gone away and I was just singing.
And describe that more, because you're saying what went away, like no longer fidgeting and embarrassment. Those are negative words. But tell me the positivity of when you were saying I was singing. So how did you feel? What was the feeling with that?
Well, I looked focused. At first, I look, I'm looking around and kind of, and then by the 3rd time, I was concentrated. I could see that I was no longer worrying about
what were
what
you?
I looked like.
I don't care about what you weren't. What were you? Some words that describe what you were, not what you weren't.
Well, I was concentrated on what I was doing.
Concentrate. That's such a heavy word. And it doesn't really have a positive connotation or a negative. It's just sort of concentrate. Come on, you can do better than that. I like that I was concentrated. But give me a break.
Let's see.
It's very interesting. What were you? Were you stuck or were you?
No, I was just singing.
Good. So how? Describe it.
Well, I would say I looked connected.
You looked connected. Were you connected? It's interesting whenever you just.
Yes. Well, because I observed I remembered what it was like from the inside, and then through the recording, I can see myself from the outside.
Well, were you connected or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the way you're saying yeah is kind of like, yeah, yeah.
Well, it's because it's not something that I'm really used to feeling. So it's like that feeling, I'm giving it that name because I'm starting to understand that that's what being connected means.
Okay, that's fair. So you were connected to what?
To my voice. I was enjoying the feeling. Like it felt okay.
Okay, good. So you were enjoying. Write that down. For God's sakes, write that down. I was enjoying the feeling. That was hard for you to say, and I think maybe because you've somehow write it down. That's important for you to enjoy the feeling, but not to make it a thing. Like, okay, now I have to enjoy the feeling. You see, because the energy behind that is still something that you have to do. So just own that you already did it. So you can say, I know how to enjoy the feeling. You've proven that you know how to do it. You've done it. You can't argue about it. Maria, it's done already. It happened. Ooh.
I can't take it back.
And why would you want to anyway?
Oh, I would not.
Fabulous.
No.
So here's the deal. Remember, you're in charge. You're in charge of how you feel. You're in charge of everything. I know sometimes that scares people, but sometimes it makes them go, oh. But it takes a while for people to sink in, because most of us don't feel like we're really in charge. We feel like external things define our life. Like when I asked you, how'd your week? You're like, well, this happened and my friend said this and my kids this. And so it's all about like feeling like, oh, this stuff happened to me. Oh, the world is happening to me. Right? And so then the voice is like, because when we feel victimized, or like all like stuff is coming at us, and we don't allow how do we want our mind to feel?
Clarity.
Yes, let's do it right now, because we know the way to do that is to take a puppy breath, right, or baby breath, or whatever makes you happy. That, I mean, as simple as it is, and even I forget, I swear, even I forget, and I teach this and I know this, but it's easy to forget because of the world we live in, so we have to remember, oh yeah, let's do it again. Let's do it. Cute puppies right now. And then exhale, feed the heart too. Okay, good. Soul, how do you want the soul to be? Anxiety or?
Peaceful.
Good. How does it feel?
Well, I'm doing the control freak thing again.
Okay, perfect. Good, so you caught it. And then so when you catch yourself and you're like, oh man, I'm not, that just means you're not making friends with yourself, which is what you worked on this week. And you just go, oh, I love that. I love myself. I'm having such a human experience. Seriously, so try to find a way, instead of going, oh, shouldn't do that. Like, let's just get rid of that word shouldn't. And just embrace that you did that and go, oh, that is so humanly cool. And that is so, and just don't even judge it like in a negative way. Just love it. Okay, so yes, I was control freaking. Seriously. Because what that's going to do, like, how do you feel right now just from me kind of saying that?
Well, I'm breathing more freely, so.
Good. So now you're more open, and is the control freaky thing sort of still right there? Did it sort of fade?
It backs off.
Good. That is a very powerful exercise. And that is the essence of everything. Everything. If you can learn how to just sort of wrap love around wherever you are in the moment, even if you're like not liking it, wink, wink, you just kind of go, oh, I'm so human. And you know it's going to pass, but you're like, deep down, you're like, I know this sucks right now, but if you can get a part of you, just a fraction, to go, oh, but I love that. Say that.
Oh, but I love that.
Yeah, now go like this. Nice and cheesy, baby. Cheesy, squeezy. Cheese is good, honey. Cheese is good. Yes.
Cheese is good.
Okay. So we've done that. Now, all of a sudden, we feel better. The way you think and feel has a direct influence on your voice, whether you like it or not. So when you wrap love around stuff, you realize I'm not that thing. You're not really a control freak. You're not really your thoughts. You're not. It's thoughts are just, everybody has them. It's just, it's like going, oh, I really need to let go of this pen. This pen is just really bogging me down. Oh, this pen. It's like, I'm talking about letting go. I'm still holding on. That means I'm still holding on to it. I'm such an idiot for holding on to this pen. Just do this. I love it. Oh, that's nice. And then you realize that you're separate from it. You'll realize that. And this is really the key, because see, you and I both know you already have the talent. You already have the ability. And the only reason why this little baby shuts down and gets tight is because of all the pressure you put on it. It's all the pressure. And so you learn, you start to realize, like, you got to become smarter, right? Because your ego just wants you to suffer, and it wants you to hold on to everything and go, oh, it's human. Just go, oh, I love that, oh, my little ego. Don't even make yourself wrong for that. And be like, oh, I don't have an ego. It's not my ego. I'm very humble. Oh, I love that. I think I'm humble. Yeah, everything that comes up, I want you to love it.
I'm going to go tattoo that on my hands to remember it.
How about you tattoo it inside your heart, in your core? You'll remember, because you know what? You have 4 beautiful children. And every time you look at one of those kids, and, you know, probably some days you're just like, oh, it's driving me nuts. And other days you're like, oh my God, it's so cute. And you're like, oh, that is so just like me. You know, and you see yourself in them, and you experience yourself. And every time you do that, I want you to breathe knowing that you're connected. Say, make the C just for fun. We're going to give you some symbols. See? Connect, baby. So, like, next time one of your kids waves, and you're like, hey, mommy, you're like, oh, the C. Connect, take a breath. Every excuse that you can create to breathe, like, just randomly, like, just make it a game. Like, I'm going to breathe. What are you sniffing at, puppy? Are you trying to find my pen? Because I don't know where it went. Can you find it? Oh, thank you. You did find it. Man, my dog is smart. She's coming out of her shell. She's just a puppy, and she was a rescue, and she was a little kooky when I got her, but now she's becoming fabulous. I'm very excited. She was when I first got her. Anyway, but, you know, puppies aren't children, so I know I didn't give birth to her, so it's probably even weirder for you, like, to have actual humans. But my point is, we keep wrapping love and giving ourselves the unconditional love. We give it to ourselves. We breathe more. And the unconditional love that you give your children, I want you to give it to you. Okay? And if you feel like you don't give your children unconditional love, then think about how cute puppies are and keep breathing. But, you know, I mean, we're all human, I know. But at the end of the day, right, you're still like, oh, like, right? Are you? Or do you have a hidden knife somewhere? You're like, oh. I'll use this one day. You're okay, right?
Yes.
Okay. So good. So this is this understanding of connectedness. See, remember, the voice is over here. So this means that in order for it to really show up, it wants us to really show up. That means if we want our voice to work properly, which really is stepping into more of who you really are. That's all this is. And you might have fear around it or this. It's really not, like, you've tricked yourself into thinking like, oh, it's singing. I want to sing and sound pretty. But And your voice is like, okay, fine, then treat me right. Don't act like a jerk. Let's actually hear what your voice has to say. Go ahead and read your letter now.
Where did it go? Okay. I watched the recording of the voice lesson we had yesterday, and I realized one thing. I've not been seeing you, but this image I had in my head. Hearing not only the audio, but watching the video helped me see that both you and I are nothing like what I've been fighting. I liked my voice, you, throughout the whole thing. Maybe for the first time I listened as if you belonged to someone else. Maybe things have just shifted enough. I don't know. But I am in. We've got this. I've got this. So many of the internal things that I need to do for you are the same ones I have learned to do for my kids. Right now I'm thinking about how I don't distance myself from them and emotionally abandon them when we are with other people and they are behaving in some way that I might want to consider embarrassing, but rather remember that they are my priority, that their behavior is communication, and that they are more important than anyone else's judgment. I want to do the same for you when we are in front of other people, and I feel like separating myself from you because I think you should be different. I have to stop that completely and care more about what you are trying to tell me and less or not at all about others may think about you or me. That was the bulk. And then the other day I wrote, you're tired today and that's okay.
Oh, how does that feel reading that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it feels like I know I felt that when I wrote that.
Mm-hmm.
But mental habits are hard to change.
Right.
And so I don't really feel it so much. Like I think, okay, I'm not really frustrated with my voice. I'm frustrated with myself because I can't make my voice work.
Can you make your kids work?
No, I'm an unschooling mom. I mean, I know this stuff.
So allow is a better word that I want you to adopt. Write this down on the sheet. I allow myself to be free. That's it.
But what does that look like then when I open my mouth and I sing?
Who cares? Forget about singing. Putting too much emphasis on singing. Singing is the result of how you think and feel about it. For you particularly, you already have the musicality. You're not like tone deaf, or you don't have problems with any of that. That's not your, like, I mean, I assessed you, like, you know, you're, there's one other exercise though that I wanted to do with you today that I didn't. But it's interesting because I got teary-eyed when you were reading that letter. And here's the thing. What I'm picking up is that a part of you really wants to do this work, but there's this other part of you, and it's because it knows it's going to die. Like, there's a part of you that knows it's going to die, okay? It's the part of you that's screwing everything up. It's going to die, and it doesn't want to. And so that's what that gap is. When you're like, you know how you're like, I was reading it, but it felt distant, and it wasn't now where I am, or whatever that is. That's because there's an inner battle. And you're in charge. So what do you do when you feel that? When you're like, oh, there's a gap. What did we do?
Think about puppies.
Yeah, okay. And what do you do for you?
I say, oh, that's such a cute human experience you're having.
Yeah. But you got to find a way, like whatever that is for you. Like if you need to use like a picture of one of your cutest kids when they were infant, or just something that melts you, and realize that that's you, and just kind of like, oh, that's me. I'm okay. I'm allowed to be free right now. I'm allowed to be free now. Breathe. And you just keep doing that. And even if you're like, hey, that negative feeling, like, oh, this is so cool. Because guess what? The more you exercise the ability to love in those moments where you feel cold and distant, the more you exercise that love, the more strong. It's like you're building these spiritual muscles that's not only going to make you an even more phenomenal human being, but it's going to make you the best mother in the universe. You already are. It's just that unfolding now. And those muscles are in you. And so you've just allowed yourself to create like a powerful, like think of the chick coming out of the shell. Like that chick is bounded. Like you made your shell pretty tough. And you're just like knocking against it and like you'll push a hole through it. And then there's another part that's like, no, I'm going to patch that hole up. And so you're like, put a thing over it. And then you're like, boom, you punch through it. You have this beautiful breakthrough moments. And then you're like, oh no, let's patch that up again. And so, but that chick that keeps pounding through is getting stronger every time the chick punches through the wall. And when the chick punches through the wall, that's when the love blanket comes and goes, oh, I'm a chick and I'm okay. Then it goes, it's even stronger. So by the time that chick decides, you know what, you're going to like this whole thing about putting the love, about distancing yourself, after a while, like the more love that you keep putting on that, the more thinner that wall gets until it just dissolves. And the chick's like, oh my gosh! And then it makes all the noise just like that and speaks. Does that make sense, kind of? Like, do you like the analogy of the chick?
It makes sense. Yes, it does.
Good, because that's for you. I want you to literally take it to heart. You know about feeding the heart. Let's do it. Taking the out breath. And just allow the breath, if you feel like it, to just go in, up and in. Just allow it. And actually know that this is your connecting and quiet confidence moment or time or whatever you want to call it. I'm more like, based on everything you've said, it's always funny because I always have like in my idea, like, oh, I want to do this today, right? Like the left side of my brain. But I have to listen, I get to listen to you and what you need. And in this moment, it's more about the how. It's how you're treating yourself. You already know what you're supposed to do. That letter that you wrote is phenomenal. It still feels like you could even continue to write more if you like, based on the idea that, and those are some great realizations. If you wanted to become friends, like what else would you say? Let's just do it now, actually, so we can move on. So I'm your voice. Hi, I just heard that letter, and I really like what you said about, what you realized and stuff. You said you do like me, right?
Go shut the door, please. Sorry.
That's okay. By the way, I really like our children. And I like how you use me when we sing and play games with them. It's so lovely, and you don't restrict me with that, and I like that. It's really nice. But I just wondered if you do really like me? And how do you feel? I mean, do you feel justified in being creepy to me all these years? Or did you want to say anything to me about that? Like apologize maybe?
Yeah, I am sorry about that. I still haven't figured out how to stop being that way, but I am trying.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to help you with that. All right. I just morphed back into Dot. How was your conversation with your boys?
It was nice. Thank you.
Guess what the next assignment is?
I do not know.
You are going to tap into your voice. The unconditionally loving part of you. Your voice isn't a judgmental dork. Your voice is actually, it's just over here in the present moment with your body. It's present. It's loving. It's always good. It's always there for you, and it knows what it needs. So it is going to write a letter back.
Okay.
And it knows exactly what you need. Okay? There's no pressure there. It's going to say whatever it is that you need to hear. And I want you to write from that space, and you do it when you feel like it. You don't make it this heavy weight. It's more like, oh, this is fun. I get to delve into the newest, fabulous parts of places that I haven't been before. You know, and just have fun with this assignment. But this letter is important because you're listening now in ways that are helping you. See, you've learned in the past ways that you've listened that didn't help you. And now this past week, you actually were like, you said some profound things like, man, when I was watching that lesson, I realized, I actually could hear myself. You were able to be objective. You were able to do what we just talked about and like act as if you were someone else watching you. You're like, that's actually not even bad. Oh, that's true. It's just, you've got to get used to allowing yourself to experience that. And when you don't, you just go, oh, because you've done the opposite, right? Forever, like probably since, I don't know, you just learned it from living in this fabulous world. You've learned that snotty, mean thing that we've all learned. And now you're deprogramming that because you realize it's not working for me. I have this natural talent that's not apparent. Why is it being like that? It's going to let you know everything that it needs, whatever it wants to say to you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Do you have any questions about that exercise? No. Okay, good. So this week, as far as singing goes, you don't have to sing. You don't have to do anything. However, I do want you to hold up your chart to see how much breathing you did. Did you write on the chart?
I did only crossed. I did only once because then it was like there was
the 1 minute of breathing.
Huh? No, wait, on Friday, and then this morning.
Okay, so you did one.
Yeah.
So you.
And then I tried, but like I didn't have a specific moment. It was like during the day, I'm mulling over all, the things that we've said and the videos and the stuff. So I'm always thinking about it.
That's great.
And so I only had these 2 moments that were dedicated to that.
That's okay.
But I do it also throughout the rest of the week.
But so this week we're talking about, well, first off, when you first wake up, right, in the morning, I just want 3 breaths. It doesn't even have to be a whole minute. But you know how we just did the 3 breaths with your baby? I did that on purpose because that might be the case. Like if they jump in bed while you're still sleeping, I want you to give yourself that time. And if you want to share it with them, that's fine. But what a lot of my other mothers do is they're like, I have to go to the bathroom. And they go in there and they shut the door. And like, it's the only place they can have privacy. And then they'll do it in there while they're on the camera. I will allow that. I will not allow, that sounds so, but I will welcome that as well. But I do want you to write on the sheet. So can you hold it up so I can see the little squares? Hurry, because we're already 3 minutes over here. Okay, so you put a X on a Friday and then, oh yeah, like see there's 2 rows of squares. So that's cool. And then what happened on Monday, or did something happen, or is that?
No, that's just a pen mark.
Oh, okay.
It's not. It's
So yeah, you could have just went up like to the next row. Like, do you know what I mean? Here, I'll show you how mine looks. Based on what you said. You said you did it Thursday, so you just went one there. And then you have to put zeros and then, so you said
okay.
and today is Thursday. So that's how I do it, except it should.
Okay. Yeah.
You can do that too, or you can even put it all in the same row. Are you going to be, oh yeah, so next week is a holiday, but I think I put you in on Tuesday, and you were going to let me know about the time, because is this time a good time for you, or is it too late?
I'm going to have to get back at you about that, because I have to, when I go out and see what condition the rest of the family is in.
Well, we said 10:30 for next Tuesday, so I think we picked a middle ground.
Okay.
Is that a little better for you?
Yeah, I think that's better.
All right, well, I'm willing to do that. And then you can just let me know, like, next week if you're like, they were fine, 11's fine, or no, we need to do 10:30. That's fine. I totally get it. And I'm alive, even though it's pre-work hours. My overseas people, I have to make exceptions for. I had the weirdest dream that you called me at like, I went on my Zoom and like you popped on there. It was like 1 a.m. and I was like, oh, I'm not teaching right now. It was so bizarre. I was like, no, but it's only because my computer crashed and it traumatized me. Okay. All right. So do you have any questions before I let you go on what your assignments are and how to proceed this week with?
No, I don't.
I'm looking forward to hearing next week about your new love affair. All right. You're dissolving those inner walls and that inner battle. So bless you on that journey. And I'm here for you. If you need me, just email me, or you can WhatsApp me, but I don't always get the WhatsApp. Like if you do WhatsApp, it's probably best to follow up with an email.
Okay.
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 Bye.
Bye.